midweek video. Just a quickie. Having some salmon tonight. With the salmon, I wanted to have a Pinot Noir. So this Pinot Noir, although it looks like I just opened it today, I have not. I was using my the tool that you extract wine with. What is it called? Cork bin? Gosh, I forgot the name of it. But anyway, so this Pinot Noir 2015 Marquis, Domaine Marquis, Dongerville. I didn't know anything about it. And it's in like the $150 price range. It's a 2015 ripe big vintage out of Burgundy from the Volnay. So the Côte de Beaune. And this wine was in Psalm 3. They tried to replicate Judgment of Paris, but with Pinot Noir. So Judgment of Paris was the Bordeaux versus California tasting of whites and red wines, mostly Chardonnay and then Bordeaux varietals. They tried to replicate that similarly with people at Dustin Wilson. He's a somm in New York City. I think he owns Verve Wine. Used to be a somm at 11 Madison Park. He was in Somm 1. He's one of the ones that was trying to get his master somm in that. And one of the sommeliers I was trying to get one of the master somm, past the master somm test. So this is in Psalm 3, and I figured, I want to try some great Pinot Noir from Burgundy. You really got to spend some money for it. So I've had it a few times, but let me try it on camera this time, so I sort of have an idea of what it tastes like already. It's a much darker, bolder. Now it's 2015, it's a great vintage, and a bolder vintage out of Burgundy. I mean, right, automatically I could just really great aromas. Just ripe fruit. Black cherry, ripe raspberry, strawberries, fresh ripe strawberries, a little bit of earth. Not that meaty, overly earthy that sometimes you get out of Burgundy. The Coravin is the tool that I extracted 2 or 3 glasses from this already, and I feel like today, just time to finish this wine off, have it with some salmon, do a little quick video about it. Really good tannins, but velvety tannins, extremely long finish, really great wine. So really, I'm not, Pinot Noir's red hot, or been red hot, sort of ever since Sideways, and just in general, the most expensive wines in the world are Pinot Noirs. Domaine, Romani, Conti, DRC, anywhere from 5 to 15,000 a bottle, depending on a vintage. I think they're starting at 10. So supply and demand. Those regions are not growing, where a Bordeaux chateau can grow an acreage and make more wine. Those first growths, Chateau Lafite, Chateau Mouton, Haut-Brion, the other ones. But in Burgundy, the plots are the plots, have already been established, and that's it. There is no growing in the Grand Cru regions. So Burgundy just happens to be the most expensive sort of wines, and I think the entry level for good vineyard and Grand Cru vineyard, Premier Cru, Grand Cru vineyard, Burgundy is quite expensive. When you get to the upper echelon of those Grand Crus, you're talking in the thousands, and big price to pay for some of the better wines, or highest rated and desired wines. So these wines are extremely elegant. It's a very elegant wine. This is a bolder expression of Pinot Noir. Most Pinot Noirs are a little bit lighter than this. A little less explosive on the fruit, maybe more of the tertiary flavors. I haven't let this one age very long. It's 2015, so it's relatively young, but it doesn't bother me. I think it's fantastic now. Probably the best Pinot Noir I've had. Unfortunately, probably one of the most expensive Pinot Noirs I've had. I'm sure I've had some others more expensive at wine tastings. I don't really remember them offhand, but of something I've had a full bottle of, this Marquis Dongerville is definitely up there. I did buy a second bottle that I'm going to probably try in another 2 years, I'd say, 2 to 3 years. I'm going to let it age a little bit. I like a little tannin structure in my wine, so I don't like letting wines go too long and lose that tannin structure. If those tannins are a little bit too furry, like maybe in a traditionally made Barolo, I let it age a little bit just so it's not so astringent and so mouth puckering. But I do like tannin structure in my wine, so really like this wine. I'd love to buy it again in another vintage, maybe even an older vintage to try it, but expensive and not very easy to find. I'd order these out of New York. I couldn't find them anywhere in New Jersey, at least not at an affordable price. I wonder if in a tasting I would even know this is Pinot Noir. Doesn't smell like classic Burgundy to me, because it's just got so much bold, dark fruit and ripe fruit. Maybe through a taste I would be able to tell, but I think it's doubtful. The wine's great. Love it. That's the end of today's video. I'm going to go enjoy this with some salmon. I'm going to cook my salmon now. Enjoy this wine with it. And that's it for tonight.